Hi there, my name is Pauline Cameron, and in a few moments I'm going to be talking to my colleague Sharon Smith, who's one of the midwives, who's going to be taking us on a tour of the Princess Royal Maternity unit to let mums and their birth partners know what to expect and what the facilities are like. But first I'm going to have a chat with Sharon about getting ready to have your baby. Sharon, if I was one of your pregnant mums, this would not be the first contact I'd had with maternity services.
That's right, Pauline. Mums will have met their midwife when they've been attending for their antenatal appointments. They will have been given a copy of this Ready Steady Baby book, which is the best source of information about having a baby. We will also have given mums a pregnancy record book like this, and we refer to this as Mum's Handheld Record. Now, this is a record of mum, dad and the family history, but we'll also record appointments, test results and choices that she may wish to include when she's thinking about making her birth plan. The important thing is that mum keeps this record with her and she brings it to each of her appointments. She will also need to bring it in with her when she comes to the maternity unit, as the midwife will refer to it to discuss any choices that she's made and record maternity care.
You mentioned antenatal appointments. Is this classes and clinics?
Classes and clinics are not the same thing, Pauline, and when we talk about clinics, we mean the regular appointments that mum will have with her midwife to monitor the pregnancy, to make sure everything's going well. As well as clinics, we encourage parents to come to the antenatal classes on offer. The classes include lots of useful information on things like preparation for when you're ready to take your baby home, and there's lots more about that later in the programme. How birth partners can support mums during labour, keeping mum and baby healthy during pregnancy, and using key health messages as they develop into a family. Signs of labour and how you will know labour is going to begin, coping strategies in labour and some options for pain relief during labour.
Now, you also offer breastfeeding workshops. Can you tell us a bit more about these?
Breastfeeding workshops are available in all the maternity units, and you should ask your midwife for the local details. I think everyone's aware now that breastfeeding has real health benefits for both mum and baby. Baby gets protection from tummy bugs, infections and allergies, and mum gets protection too. And studies have shown that mums who breastfeed are less likely to develop breast cancer, for example. Breastfeeding is also cheaper for the family because breast milk is readily available. And there's lots more information on breastfeeding on your Bumps to Breastfeeding DVD, so make sure you get a copy from your midwife.
What about beginning to prepare for the baby when it's here and keeping baby safe?
Of course, all mums want to keep their baby safe, and it's a good idea to begin planning for taking your baby home now. As well as Ready Steady Baby, we have a range of leaflets on individual topics, and please ask your midwife for copies of these. For example, it's really important that parents understand the need for a properly fitted car seat for baby, no matter how short the journey. It is the law. There are other things to think about, and as part of antenatal care, we will have checked mum's carbon monoxide level and will have spoken about the dangers of smoking and second-hand smoke from a partner or from a family member. Most people are aware that smoking is harmful to both mum and baby, and we would encourage mums to stop smoking at any point in their pregnancy. It's never too late. And we offer smoking cessation support to those who want to quit. It is important to remember that in all hospitals and hospital grounds, smoking is not permitted. Where partners or family members smoke, there are services to help them quit. But most importantly, it's vital that the family smoke outside of the home to protect the baby from the dangers of second-hand smoke and cot death. There can be confusion around the safe limits of alcohol when pregnant, and we advise all mothers to avoid alcohol. Alcohol and drugs, including recreational drugs, pass through the placenta from the mother to the baby and can cause the baby to have problems with growth and development in the womb.
That's a lot of good information. It's never too late to make a change.
That's correct, and pregnancy is a good opportunity to improve the health of the whole family.
Goodness, we've only been talking for 5 minutes and already my mind's whirling. What about the very practical things? You know, the things to put in your overnight bag.
Okay, this isn't just what mum will need, it's also about what baby will need. Warm clothes for going home, nappies, etc. But I do have a bag that I've packed over here, so we can have a look at that. And we recommend 2 small bags for coming into hospital. One with mum's things and one with the baby's things. And we do emphasise small here. Mums won't really need an awful lot while they're in. So we'll have a wee look. And it's important that mum brings her handheld pregnancy record, and you remember we discussed that earlier, and the midwife's going to refer to this. And if she could also bring any medications that she's currently taking, that would be helpful too. She'll want a pair of pyjamas or a night dress, and it should be something light and cool because the wards do get very warm. She may wish to think about an old night dress or a t-shirt that she feels comfortable in for the actual labour and birth. She'll need a house coat and something for her feet, a pair of slippers. She'll also need some sanitary pads, and it's a good idea to buy some disposable maternity underwear or bring in old underwear. She should bring in some nourishing, healthy snacks, and she's going to need some toiletries, and the small weekend size of toiletries is absolutely ideal. And speaking of toiletries, don't bring aerosols into hospital as our smoke alarms are very sensitive and spraying deodorants around can set them off.
Point taken, no aerosols.
Okay, so let's just have a look at baby's bag now.
I'll just clear this for you.
So in this bag for baby, we have a couple of vests, a couple of baby grows, we have some booties or socks, some scratch mitts, and a nice warm cardigan for going home, and a hat. Okay. Mum will also need to bring in some nappies for baby. And most importantly, for going home, the baby will need some kind of outerwear, some kind of suit for going home, as it can be a bit cool. And as we discussed earlier, the properly fitted car seat for the journey home. Mum should make sure that they've had a copy of their car safety leaflet and their what to bring in list from their midwife.
Isn't it traditionally the birth partner's job to get the bag ready for the hospital?
Yes, it is. And speaking about birth partners, it's also helpful if you have the name and contact details of your birth partner written into your handheld record to help the staff ensure your safety and security.
Is there anything else we should be mentioning at this stage?
Well, maybe a couple of points. Firstly, mobile phones. They can affect some of our equipment, so we would want them to be switched off. There are some places within the unit where you can use them, and you should ask the staff where these are and only use them in those places. Having a baby can be a very happy time for most people. However, in some circumstances it can be stressful. The staff are here to help. However, we will not tolerate verbal abuse, aggression or violence in any of our hospitals.